locked in, determined, and with your eyes on the prize. You want to make her fall in love with you. That much you know for sure. And that's pretty much the first step, setting a goal in mind. Now comes the next, or the next several steps actually. And that's making her fall in love with you. You know what you want, but does she want you back? The signs are there, the flirtation, the subtle hints, and the cues that she wants you to show initiative. You're halfway there. But this is the hard part. Don't fret. It's easy when you follow these top 10 tips. She'll be yours in no time. Number 10. Don't chase. Ever heard of the expression a cat and mouse tale? What's the takeaway from that? The cat's chasing the mouse, but it's perpetually chasing the mouse. It never actually gets what it wants. The metaphor isn't to motivate you to chase her. It's actually doing the contrary. Don't chase her under any circumstance. And that's the first step in getting her to fall in love with you. Differentiate yourself from the other guys who are chasing her. You'd think that by standing still and waiting for her, you're missing out on daylight. That somehow, by waiting, you're letting the other guys get ahead. Here's the deal. The other guys might get ahead in getting her to acknowledge their effort. But is it really a marathon? Or even a sprint? You have to see it from this perspective. When did she promise the first guy she'd say yes? Get out of this delusion that the first guy who gets to her is the guy who, well, gets her. That's not how humans work. And that's definitely not how complex emotions like love work. Your part is to wait. Wait for the feelings to fester. Wait for her to notice that you're not breathing down her neck, wanting her to see that you love her. And wait for her to be the one to give you the go-ahead. Then you move on to the next steps. Number 9. Be aware of hints. Women tend to go all out when it comes to their partners, but they keep their cards close to their chest when it's the courting phase. This is probably because they don't want to show their hand before they're ready. As in, why show someone you're interested out of fear of rejection, right? That's a pretty natural fear to have. We all have it. So what do you do to get out of this will they, won't they phase? Do you show your hand? No, neither of you has to. In fact, you'll be the first one to drop a hint with a subtle foreshadowing of what you'll be like as a partner, how much you adore her, or anything that'll give her a clear-cut indication that you like her, all the while keeping yourself from pursuing her fully until she gives you the green light. What's the green light? Just like you, she'll also slowly show one card or two. These are hints. You need to be able to pick up on subtle cues and hints. Number 8. You're not too macho to go all out. Everyone likes to be courted, and everyone likes to be chased. We've already talked about how the chase never ends if that's all you're in it for. So everyone likes to wake up to the feeling that someone's out there who adores them. And there's no shame in admitting that you like it too. However, we're here to talk about her and how you want her to fall in love with you. Standing in a corner, pouting that she doesn't love you yet, will have you standing in that corner forever. You need to do more. But how? What's more? Before we start there, you need to understand that you're never too macho to court a woman. It's been going on since times immemorial, and it'll go on forever. Women are to be courted. Number 7. Flowers, chocolate, and the good stuff. Take flowers and chocolate here as placeholders. Maybe she hates flowers and is allergic to chocolate, who knows? The point is to know what she likes and to go out of your way to get it for her. This could be done better by getting her something oddly specific that she's mentioned. You'll achieve 2 things here. 1. The pure bliss in her eyes when she sees something she truly wants coming from someone she's interested in. And 2. The sweet, sweet joy of knowing that you listen. You see, even with flowers, you don't go off and buy generic bouquets. No, you buy her the kind that she likes, and that's what seals the deal. Number 6. Don't fight anyone to get to her. Be better. She's a beautiful woman with qualities you found endearing enough to want to actively pursue her, right? Another step in getting her to fall for you is to acknowledge that someone else has probably also seen the same qualities that have tugged at your heartstrings. It's not a battle, however, even though a lot of macho gurus on the internet would like to tell you that it is. Again, she's the prize because you want her to be your partner, and not because you view her as an inanimate object that's incapable of making her own decisions. That's why you shouldn't treat any other guy who's interested in her as your sworn enemy. They're really not. The goal was never to be better than the other guy, because that guy doesn't matter here. What matters is how you feel about her and the efforts you're willing to put in to get her. So don't fight off. Just amp up your own efforts. Number 5. A call away. Dependable. No, don't just drop everything and rush by her side every time she calls. There's a difference between being desperate and dependable, and that's what you need to know. She's looking for someone who's dependable and can show her that when she needs her man there, he'll be there. This isn't the same as her saying she has nothing to do today and you ditch your plans to make time for her. Yes, if you didn't have any plans and were free just the same, why not? But dropping everything to be by your side isn't what'll get her to fall in love with you. It'll just showcase that you live and breathe every day, hoping she'll tell you to come by. Is that the sort of predicament you want to set when moving into a relationship with someone? Exactly. Number 4. Let her take charge sometimes. Love is a two-way street, unless it's unrequited. In this case, she'll give you the go-ahead to pursue her through subtle cues and hints, and that's exactly what you've been doing. However, you have to remember that it works both ways. To get her to fall in love with you, you have to let her take charge sometimes. Don't go out of your way to make a point by not texting her all day on purpose or not responding to her just to prove something. That comes under malice, and that's not how you want to start a new relationship. No, in fact, you need to let her be the one to ask if you're free to go out today. Let her pick where she wants to go, or give her the space to plan a date overall. You're not losing your masculinity by letting her make choices, because when it comes to actual execution, you should be the one to take charge. This includes getting the flowers, chocolate, or whatever you do when you go to pick her up. Letting her take charge isn't necessarily letting her be the one to call the shots or the one who has to text first. You're not in a competition with her. Number 3. Everyone has a past. Forget about it. Take this as gospel. Never bring up an ex. No matter what you do, no matter which way the conversation is headed, and no matter what the context is, you never, ever talk about someone from your past. The same goes the other way as well, and you're never supposed to ask her about her exes either. Sure, it's unavoidable in some cases, such as when they pop up while you're together. Even then, keep your questions limited to, "Who was that?" or something equally as mundane. Why? Because the start of your relationship shouldn't be based on what worked for the guy who came before you. A lot of people will tell you to pry and ask about what her exes did right or wrong to gauge at what she likes and dislikes. But that's taking a shortcut, or frankly, an unnecessary route. She's telling you what she likes and doesn't. In any case, this is a journey you embark on together, not one that's based on a past failed relationship. Number 2. Work on yourself. Maybe one of the best ways to get her to love you is to work on yourself, and not necessarily just to get to her. Although there's no shame in admitting that you want to be a better man for her. What we mean is that you need to work on areas of yourself that you're not necessarily proud of either. It could be something as simple as fashion taste or something a bit more complex such as anger management. In any case, you need to be able to work through your issues and your struggles first to be able to accept a new person in your life. Oh, and she will notice. Number 1. Don't fake it till you make it. Your best foot forward shouldn't be a prosthetic leg. What we mean is that you shouldn't fake something just to be able to get her to fall in love with you. Because, look, now she's in love with someone, but is that someone really you? She told you she loved The Godfather, and you've never seen it a day in your life, yet suddenly you love it too. The next time she brings up a reference, the jig will be up. What was so hard in telling her that you haven't seen the films but would love to get around to it someday? The chances of this becoming a date night are sky high. So based on that example, you should never fake anything to kickstart a relationship. That's all for this video. Let us know what you think in the comments down below. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more.